Hi guys, welcome back. This is episode 4 of Tiny Bunny and it's called Stomp Your Hooves and Wait. I'm really excited for this because the last episode Katya disappeared, which is great because she was a bitch. So let's see what happens. That was the last thing that happened before episode 3 ended.
Я сама не поверила, но Лилия Павловна на работу не вышла.
I couldn't believe it at first, but Lilia didn't come to work today.
Контрольная отменяется.
The test is off. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. Katya, the first girl in our class whose body started maturing, to the envy of all the other female students. The main source of gossip, a snake and a bitch. I continued scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and 2 small figures flying between the treetops and the full moon. Shivers ran up to my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there was still something evil weighing me down. The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were still hiding something horrible under a mask of piousness.
А что ты рисуешь?
What are you drawing? Embarrassed, I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figures above the forest.
Да ничего, так, дурака
Nothing,
валяю.
really. Just fooling around. Polina put her elbows on her desk. I had already forgotten how light and graceful she was, just like a violin. The anger and rage that boiled inside me yesterday during our phone call subsided, hid in a hole. I just couldn't stay mad at Polina. I wish she could also jump around with us after stripping away her mask of fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flapping in the wind, the stars sparkling all around us, her asking in bewilderment whether it is all a dream. And myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again.
Ужасно еще и то, что Катю мне жалеть сложно.
It's also tragic that I find it difficult to empathize with her.
Я правда ищу в себе сострадание, но вспоминаю ее поступки и...
I tried so hard, but then I remembered all her nasty deeds and... Polina shook her head.
Я чудовище, да?
I'm a monster, aren't I? No. I believe in karma, and I think Katya got exactly what came to her. No, I thought, you're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met, but alas, you're only number 2 on that list. Oh no, my character is a furry. It's official. I decided not to say that out loud.
Плохо, наверное, что исчезновение анкеты расстроило меня больше, чем пропажа одноклассницы.
It's not okay that I felt worse when I lost my questionnaire than she went missing. My nostrils picked up the smell of candy, tree resin, and fireworks.
Ты потеряла анкету?
You lost your questionnaire?
Да, и кто-то сейчас читает чужие секреты.
Yes, somebody out there is reading other people's secrets now. Yes, the forest, I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with their icy twigs.
Надеюсь, ее найдут.
I hope the search goes well. I was unsure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. Probably her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Polina's intense stare directed at me.
Что?
What?
Ты будто изменился.
You've changed. I smoothed my hair flat, surprised.
Просто не выспался.
I just didn't sleep well tonight.
Сегодня ты точно какая-то другая мелодия.
You're a different
Очень
melody
древняя,
today. The
таинственная.
mysterious, ancient tune. I thought about the flute's melody, streaming between the bushy treetops.
Надеюсь, ты никому не рассказал про наш вчерашний разговор?
I hope you haven't told anyone about our chat yesterday.
Что ты?
Of course not. She nodded as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I was unsure whether I merited such trust. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying toward the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic. Mayasha jumped at me like in the Jack-in-a-Box toy and yelled in my ear. No, he's back! No! Why? I did not miss him. His face is fixed. Wait a minute, that's not Simon. That's not Simon. I feel like a dick saying his face is fixed, but I thought it was Simon at first, so I was expecting to see all the acne. Never mind, we good. He's still ugly too, though, just because he's a bully, but it's not who I thought it was. Looky here. Having a lovey-dovey time, eh?
Ты че, очкарик, Полиночку охмуряешь?
Hey, Four Eyes, are you trying to pick up Polina? Polina came to my help, even though I didn't ask her to. Or maybe I did, with my entire appearance.
Что за глупости? Мы просто друзья.
What's with this nonsense? We're just friends.
Твоя подружка, значит? Ходишь вместе за платьями с этим педиком?
Is he your girlfriend then? Do you go buy dresses together? With this fag?
Никакой он не педик.
He's
И
not a
вообще,
fag.
Женя
Leave Petrov
Петрова.
alone. I needed to do something, but I just sat there clutching the edge of my desk. Romka gave me a deriding snort.
Баба тебя спасла, уродец.
A girl saved you, ugly face? I'll let you live. For now. My enemies left the classroom guffawing. Why doesn't it just say laughing? Guffawing. I've never heard of that word. Polina showed me a sad smile.
Будь сильным.
Be strong. I wanted to scream that I couldn't. I couldn't be strong and stand up against these bastards. I couldn't stand up for myself or anyone else. I'm pathetic. I want to disappear into the forest, dig myself into the snow. I want to go home, get under my blanket, far away from humans. Polina left, and the thoughts that were terrorizing me finally made me weep. I stayed late after school to escape Romka's ire for my rash act of talking to Polina, which meant I had to drag my feet toward home in the twilight. A bored school janitor scraped his shovel against the asphalt, and the upperclassmen blew out smoke that formed clouds similar to dialogue bubbles in comics. I wanted to fill those bubbles with friendly words, but there was nothing friendly about the icy stares those guys gave me. I was leaving the unpleasant world of stale buns and nasty insults. Someone shoved me near the stairs. Didn't their parents teach them to apologize? I crossed the village and slowed my pace near the bridge. I turned my head around, looking for my fox friend, but neither she nor my other new friends could be seen anywhere. I was met with the silent forest. It felt like a crunching predator pretending to be asleep. It still watched me with one eye from under half-closed eyelids, and I walked through it, my fingers gripping the backpack straps, looking at my feet through a pair of glasses. Oh, they're looking for her. Katya! Katya! Once again, black shadows flashed among the naked trees, shouting the name of a girl who was most likely already dead over and over. The sunset fizzled over the pine tops like a flame from a gas burner set to a minimum. I walked forward, trying to hide my head on my shoulders, avoiding the sight of the crooked trees. The house was a dark stain on the white, snowy blanket. The front door was open and swayed slightly in the wind. It felt like my skin was getting covered in rime. I clenched my fists. Darkness oozed into the hallway, and snowflakes floated inside along with it, landing softly on the rug, like a pack of vultures that sensed their food. I stepped into the doorway with utmost caution. For a moment, I thought I heard someone talking in the kitchen, but it turned out to be a radio broadcast. The previously mentioned cyclone is getting even close to the region. The official forecast for tomorrow suggests gusts of wind reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour. Intercom of Russia has called on citizens to exercise extreme caution. The roads are closed off. The cold air streams coming from the Arctic are bringing massive blizzards. I heard voices coming from the upper floor, too. The staircase let out a long squeak. Uh-oh. I took one step, yet my heart managed to beat 6 or 7 times in the meantime. The door to my parents' bedroom was ajar. A shadow play unfolded inside a light spot. Black silhouettes were performing a dance of hatred. Mom hissed at Dad, her wrists flying toward the ceiling, and he towered over her, his hands crossed on his huge chest.
Мы все в опасности. И все из-за тебя.
We're all in danger, and it's all your fault.
И не ври, ты видел его в поселке.
And stop lying. You saw him in the village.
Он вычислил, где мы живем.
He found out where we live.
Это был не он.
It wasn't him.
Я читала в газетах, на что способны твои дружки.
I've read about the things your buddies are capable of in the newspapers. I ran toward my bedroom. My parents were in the middle of another quarrel where they showered each other with the mutual accusations.
Карина!
Dad let out a low, beast-like roar.
Пусть они прекратят.
Make them stop! Olya stood in the corridor, pressing her little palms against her ears. Her face, swollen from crying, made my skin freeze.
Случилось.
What happened?
Они разведутся.
They're going to divorce? I hugged my sister and held her tight. My tongue refused to listen to my commands, to look for excuses. It felt like the screams were coming from every direction, right and left, up and down, splitting my head apart. Swear words rained down on us, so we covered our heads with our hands like refugees running from a bombing.
Я хочу уйти!
I want to escape.
В свою комнату.
To your room?
Нет! Дальше!
No, far away.
Отведи меня в Небыляндию! Ты обещал!
Lead me to Neverland. You promised. I carefully unglued Olya's hands from her ears and led her away from the room with her parents, which was vibrating with malice.
Из-за тебя!
Your fault.
Ради кого?
For whom? Your own and only your own. I would never. In moments like these, I despised them more than they despised each other. I bolted down the door to my room and leaned against it. My knees gave way.
Послушай, Оля, мне тоже здесь плохо.
Look, Olya, I also hate it here.
Ты хотя бы в школу ходишь.
At least you can go to school. I let out a sad laugh.
Эта школа кошмар.
That school is
Меня
one
там
big
все
nightmare.
ненавидят.
Everybody hates me.
Только одна девочка надо мной не смеется. Зато жалеет, как побитого пса.
There's only this one girl who isn't making fun of me. She takes pity on me. She takes pity on me instead, like I'm a beaten dog.
Ты не пес. Ты...
You're not a dog. You...
Я не понимаю, кто я.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Но там, снаружи, ничем не лучше, чем в доме.
But the outside world is clearly no better than our home.
Где же лучше? Давай пойдем туда. Полетим, поплывем.
Do you know a better place? Let's go there. We'll fly. Or swim.
Если б можно было, я бы все на свете отдал, чтобы уйти и забрать тебя с собой.
If only we could do that. I would have sacrificed everything to escape and take you with me. Olya's upper lip trembled.
Клянешься?
Swear? I put on a bitter smile.
Чтоб мне умереть.
On my own life. Uh-oh. Something hit the window's ledge on the outside. Olya shuddered and shifted her gaze toward it. Bam! Another snowball smacked into the window's frame.
Ты ждешь кого-то?
Were you expecting someone? I didn't reply. Instead, I let go of her wrist. Olya wept in fear. I crossed the room, wincing from every shout coming from my parents. I could hear plates getting smashed now. They must have moved their argument to the kitchen. Hey, it's our friends! I flung the curtains and the window open. Pootie, Teddy, Wolfie, and most importantly, the charming Alyssa stood outside waving at us. Olya gasped in surprise when she saw the owl girl.
Я же говорила!
See, I told you.
Я знаю, я тебе всегда верил.
Yeah, I know. I always believed you.
Кто они?
Who are they? Her fearful voice also had some curiosity mixed in it.
Чтобы в такую погоду дома сидеть, надо быть очень скучными детьми.
Only the most boring children sit at home in weather like this. We still have so many games to play. Hoot!
Давайте только не во все игры играть.
But let's not play all of them. My paw hurts.
Чуть-чуть.
We play a little, then rest. Friends! I can't roll my R's, but I wish I could.
Выходите скорее.
Come on, come out to play and dance! My heart started beating faster as soon as I saw Alyssa, and my inner voice practically screamed, She's here! She's finally here!
Они знают, как попасть в Небыляндию.
Do they know the way to Neverland? I entertained that possibility looking at the animal kids.
Может быть, пойдем и узнаем.
Maybe. Let's go find out. The silhouettes of my forest friends promised to free us from sadness, anger, and nightly horrors. I made sure that Olya wore warm clothes. Mom barked at Dad like a wild beast from that show with Nikolai Drozdov. I don't know if I said that right. We sneaked past a rumbly kitchen and into the snowfall outside. Alyssa ran up to me and hugged me tight, poking her cold nose into my neck.
Как же долго!
You took so long!
Пока мы вас домоседов ждали, то
We-
чуть не состарились.
We almost got old waiting for you, shut-ins. She pressed her body into me even harder.
Оказывается, ждать так утомительно.
Turns out waiting is so tiring.
Фу, минуточку в себя прийти.
Phew! Give me a minute to catch my breath.
Однажды я тоже долго собиралась. А когда закончила, то и вовсе забыла, куда.
I was preparing to leave for a long time, hoot hoot. And when I was done, I forgot where I was supposed to go. Olya looked at the owl with suspicion. But she still giggled when the bird did a backflip and landed perfectly on her feet without staggering. All the animals, as if on cue, stopped fooling around and stared at Olya in amazement.
Это же та девочка, что не хотела со мной дружить.
That's the girl who didn't want to become friends.
Меня зовут Оля.
My name's Olya.
Раньше я просто тебя боялась.
I was afraid of you before.
Тебя испугала наша совушка?
Were you afraid of our hootie?
Может быть, у нее совофобия?
Maybe she has owl phobia.
А это лечится?
Can you cure that?
Главное, чтобы ребенок не боялся веселиться.
It doesn't matter as long as she's not afraid of having fun.
Иначе с нами можно умереть от страха.
Or she might get scared to death with us. I was stunned at the realization that my lips were slowly forming a smile. Every time I met Alyssa, it felt like I crossed a river, and the sound of flowing water suppressed all of my negative thoughts.
Какие у вас красивые костюмы!
Your costumes are so pretty! The fox girl let go of me and squatted beside Olya.
О, какая очаровашка!
My, what a cutie.
Антоша, почему ты прятал от нас это милое создание раньше?
Why did you hide such a cute creature from us before? I glanced at the house, worried that our parents might have seen us, and we were about to ruin our fun like they always do. Then hugged my sister and replied,
Давайте отойдем подальше.
Let's go farther from here.
Запросто.
Sure thing.
Оля, а ты знаешь, как найти в нашем лесу Деда Мороза?
Hey, Olya, do you know how to find Grandpa Frost in our forest? My sister's eyes widened.
Как?
How?
Нужно идти по сладкой тропинке.
You need to follow the sweet trail. Alyssa bent down and took a candy out of the snow. Olya raised her hands in amazement. She gave me an inquiring look. I nodded. My sister munched on the candy.
У нас что, в лесу завелся Дед Мороз?
Wait, do we have Grandpa Frost in our forest?
Почему? Ты мне не рассказывала.
Why didn't you tell me?
Я рассказывала. Сегодня днем.
I did, this afternoon.
Но ведь днем я сплю.
But I sleep during the day.
Ага. Вот я и рассказывала, пока ты спала.
Right, I told you while you were sleeping. Why did she look evil? Alyssa dashed away, wiggling her red tail like a torch's flame. I feel like something's gonna happen. Olya went after her without thinking and laughed after taking another candy out of the snow pile.
Вы такие бодрые, на вас аж смотреть противно.
You're so lovely, it makes me sick to my stomach.
А ты давай не зевай.
And you stop being so passive.
Лучше беги с нами к Деду Морозу, пока все подарки не разобрали.
Run with us to Grandpa Frost while there are still presents left.
Скажешь тоже.
No way.
Скорее уж мне на голову свалится 3 кило конфет, чем я поверю в байки лисицы.
I won't believe the fox's tales unless 10 pounds of sweets drop on my head right now. That was funny. When the aforementioned sweets started raining down on the bear's head, I couldn't stop myself from laughing at him, ouching and bobbing his head up and down. Tasty treats glistened in the snow. Teddy sneezed and pulled a little bear in the north candy out of his ear.
Я бы вздремнул часок.
I'd take an hour-long nap and then count all of these chocolates.
У меня такое подозрение, что тут не больше килограмма.
I suspect there are no more than 3 pounds here. Alyssa shouted at us from the other side of the forest.
Не в этой жизни!
Maybe in another life.
Давайте скорее! Дед Мороз уже заждался нас во дворце!
Hurry up, Grandpa Frost is already tired of waiting for you in his castle. I shrugged and ran. Running loosened the grip of fear I felt all this time. Something round whizzed past my temple. I decided it was a snowball, but then Olya proclaimed,
Зефир!
Zephyr!
Не подбирай, он испачкался.
Don't pick it up, it's dirty.
Ты что, веришь в микробов?
Huh? Do you believe in microbes?
А ты нет?
And you don't?
Раньше верила.
I used to. Graceful rows of colossal pines greeted us with their rustling paws. Snow drifted upward into the endless black sky just like last time. Snow piles lighted up the melted silver.
Как же красиво! А я думала, в лесу страшно.
So pretty, and I thought the forest was scary.
Нас родители пугали лесом, снегом и совой.
Parents told us scary stories of the forest, owl and snow.
Ну а мы с собой играли в снежной чаще под луной.
But we weren't one bit worried, playing with her when the moon glows. I did my best to keep track of Olya's movement, but it was a difficult task. My sister would jump inside bushes, picking up more candy, only to then get back to the trail laughing. Hootie flew over our heads, landed on a branch, and started hooting and shaking her head. Oh my gosh. Wolfie dug into the snow with his face, dragging out a pile of bubblegum and swallowed it without taking off the wrapping.
У тебя будет несварение.
Your tummy will hurt. The wolf got scared and spat out the gumball.
Враки, враки, злые собаки.
Lies, 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 nasty flies.
Нет никаких несварений.
Tummy aches don't exist.
Вся эта чушь случается только со взрослыми.
All that nonsense only happens to grown-ups. Alyssa stopped in her tracks and moved a canopy of intertwined branches to the side in a pompous manner, like you would open the curtains in theater. Behind that obstacle lay a clearing. There stood an ice castle glistening with silver.
О, это все взаправду?
Is this real?
Щипнуть тебя.
Should I pinch you?
Не надо ее щипать.
There's no need to pinch her. We stared at the sparkling miracle. Its towers and walls were made of snow and icy marble. I heard a calming sound of ringing little bells. There was also the smell of chocolate and burnt sugar in the air.
Милости прошу к нашему шалашу.
Welcome to our humble abode. Come on in. See, this kind of reminds me of Hansel and Gretel. They followed breadcrumbs to her castle, where a woman was waiting to eat them. They followed candy to this castle. I don't know. I feel like it's too good to be true. I'm wondering, I think Olya's about to get kidnapped. Like, what if their plan was to get Anton to trust them? That way he'd bring Olya out. And now they're gonna take them to Grandpa Frost? Is that like a kidnapper? I don't know. She didn't have to invite us twice. We entered the castle, spinning around and squinting from the blinding sparkles. Grandpa Frost sat atop a shiny throne. Pretending to be Santa, though. Is he really Santa, though? I don't know. Puffy Pom-Pom swung atop the two peaks of his hat. A snow-white beard covered his kind smile. He looked just like I imagined him back in the day, when I still believed in Mom's fairy tales, tall, strong, and hairy, radiating frost and warmth at the same time. And his voice, low and syrupy, enveloped me like the smoke of a festive bonfire.
Антон и Ольга.
Anton and Olya.
Ох, и намучились же вы, ребятки, пока сюда добирались.
You probably got tired while you were here, my dear children.
Что ты, дедушка? Мы быстро дошли.
Oh no, Grandpa, we got here really fast. My sister spoke with the castle's master like she never spoke with adults, in a lively, carefree manner, as if they were the same age.
Знаю, все знаю.
Of course, I know all about it.
Мне мои друзья докладывают.
I have a lot of friends. They tell me everything.
Кто был покладистым весь год, того подарок утром ждет.
If you're diligent all year, I will bring you gifts, my dear.
А кто ленился и грустил, пускай он дедушку простит.
If you're lazy and upset, please forgive this kind old man.
Лентяем и грустяем конфет не запасаем.
Candy won't encounter lazy bones and downers.
А я не ленилась.
I'm not lazy.
И о том знаю.
This too, I know. He gave us a long, evaluating look. His real face was hidden under the Grandpa Frost mask. I was standing there, unblinking, my gaze glued to the old man. I could accept children living in the forest and fantastical jumps toward the moon, but seeing Grandpa Frost in his frozen castle left me completely speechless.
Есть у меня для вас кое-что особенное.
I have something special for you two. A sack appeared in his giant hand. My nostrils got attacked by the aroma of cocoa, halva, and tangerines.
Спасибо, но мы уже ели конфеты.
Thank you, but we've already eaten some candy. Grandpa Frost pierced me with his eyes.
Разве то конфеты были? Так
Ho!
вот название.
You call that candy? That was nothing.
Вот у меня конфеты волшебные, прямиком из Небыляндии привезенные.
My candy is special, straight from Neverland. Ho!
Из Небыляндии?
From Neverland?
Сразу бы вам их дал. Заслужили.
I'd give them to you right away. You clearly deserve them.
Но есть правила.
But rules are rules. Sounds suspicious.
Надобно вам 3 дедушкины загадки отгадать. Попробуйте.
You need to solve 3 of Grandpa's riddles. Want to try? I tried splitting my parched lips apart, but Olya was the first to reply.
Да!
Yeah?
Тогда слушайте первую.
Here comes the first one.
В нем живут машины и хранятся шины.
It's a home for cars and all sorts of tires. I looked around at the math children. They stood without moving in the corners, but their shadows danced on the walls. I heard a low hum. In my confusion, I thought it was the sound of their rumbling stomachs.
Гараж!
A garage!
Верно. Хе-хей.
Correct!
Теперь вторая загадка. Подключайся, Антон.
Now on the second one. You try to solve it too, Anton.
Весь день ходит, как тень, посудой гремит, на всех шипит.
All day long, to the shadows they belong. They rattle the plates and hiss at their mates. My eyebrows shot up in confusion.
Мама?
Moms? Olya raised her hand.
Можно я? Можно я?
Can I?
Это кошка!
It's a kitty.
Верно.
I was thinking mom. I was thinking parents too.
Последняя загадка и подарки ваши.
Correct. Ho! Here's the last one. Solve it and the gifts are yours.
Только вот незадача, ребятушки.
Oh, but what a stroke of bad luck, my dear children.
Запамятовал я, о чем же была эта загадка.
I completely forgot what the riddle was about.
А может, наши друзья-зверята нам подскажут?
Maybe our little animal friends can help us. What the heck? Children in costumes surrounded us, laughing and stomping, only to start spinning in a crazed roundelay that somewhat reminded me of the dance under my window on that fateful night.
Дед Мороз сидит на троне, пряча бороду с мешком.
Grandpa Frost sits on his throne. At the kids, he's smiling back.
Не томи нас слишком долго. Разбежи скорей.
Please don't make them wait too long. Come and open your old
Мешок!
sack. Grandpa Frost burst out laughing, satisfied.
Убедили старика. Получайте.
Okay, you proved yourself to this old man. Here you go. He scattered a mountain of sweets from his scarlet sack, some of which had never even seen commercials before. Hey, I think I see Snickers. Bubblegum of all shapes and colors with tasty aromas and inserts sticking out. Lollipops the size of a fist and tangerines the size of Olya's head. And also Snickers, Mars, Bounty Bars, and Kinder Surprise eggs that we hadn't eaten for so long already, so it was a Snickers. I was right. I also see Twix.
Ой, спасибо!
Wow, thank you! I wiped away the tears of joy with my sleeve when my inner voice persuaded me to get rid of all the doubts. This is exactly what I wanted for my sister and myself. The true Neverland without bullying and taboos. We're finally going to be happy. Grandpa Frost straightened up as he left his throne and threw his hands in the air over the trees. Animals that stood to his sides also raised their paws. Their eyes sparkled brighter than precious gems. The wolf's maw was wet with saliva.
Будет пир на весь мир!
Feast, my children! Animal kids rushed to devour candy one by one, pushing each other and growling. Their faces were smeared with something dark. Olya grabbed the closest candy and tore off the wrapper. I fished out the most tasty-looking candy from the pile of sweets on the floor. Then took a bite. Milk chocolate melted in my mouth.
С выбором вас поздравляю. Веселитесь в этот час.
Uh-oh. The whole game just went in its color now. I applaud your bold decision. Now it's time for you to play.
Я желания исполняю, сокровенные для вас.
I will grant your deepest wishes. Let me lighten your day.
Антон, смотри!
Oh, God. Anton, look! My sister's face was smeared in chocolate, and I was about to reprimand her. But words got stuck in my throat. A giant spruce shot toward the stars and disappeared somewhere in outer space, crowned by a giant moon. Giant balls shined on its branches, and garlands of lights gleamed with all the colors of the rainbow. The roof disappeared, and myriads of constellations sprawled on the night sky above us. Music, laughter, the smell of evergreen and sweets. And Teddy, Wolfie, and Hootie dancing beside us. And the snowflakes floating backward. I burst out laughing, touched the bushy golden tinsel. It was all real.
Это что? Это она?
Is that it?
Вы тут не про Неверленде случайно говорите?
Are you talking about Neverland by any chance?
Это и есть Неверляндия?
Is this Neverland? Alyssa performed a theatric bow. I think it was bow. Christmas balls gleamed and shimmered, and my soul shimmered in unison with them. I was becoming the magic winter forest, the soft evergreen, all of the constellations at the same time.
Добро пожаловать домой.
Welcome home. This is where my home always was. The snow sparkled, almost blinding me. Olya started spinning in a dance. She grabbed a candy with each of her hands. Oh my God. Wolfie juggled Kinder Surprise eggs.
Ты видел?
Did you see that? Consoles, handheld games, dolls, and Transformer figures lay under the spruce as if they were brought here by trucks.
Это все наше!
Is this for us? I realized I was also dancing, so I replied while moving.
Многовато для нас одних. Я бы поделился с кем-нибудь. А ты?
It's a bit too much for just two of us. I'd share it with somebody. And what do you think?
Ну, если с кем-то хорош.
Only if it's somebody nice. A group of children stood at the edge of the woods, their enchanted gazes directed at our celebration.
Эй!
I jumped across the whole clearing and glided to the ground near them.
Хотите с нами?
Want to come to us?
Можно?
Can we?
Спрашивайте.
Of course.
Как здорово!
The kids took each other by the hand. I led their procession toward the gifts. Precision. There was no better feeling than leading someone on the road to their dreams. The holiday party was finally in full swing. And every holiday, just like in a beautiful apple, always sat a nasty little worm called Transcendence. Yet here, under the bristly paws of magnificent spruce, holidays never ended.
Счастлив, Тоша?
Are you happy, Tosha?
Я счастлив.
I am. Up in the sky, majestic fireworks went off, illuminating the dancing figures. My eyes wetted. My muscles sprung up. I tilted my head backward to look at the moon and screamed at the top of my lungs from overflowing emotion. Are you happy, Bunny? I jumped toward the stars and did a flip. All of Neverland could hear my scream.
Счастлив!
I am happy! But was it real, or are we gone now? Well, I'm back in my room, so I guess we're okay. For the first time in the long days I'd spent in the new house, I woke up with a smile on my face. This time happiness had a tight grip on me. I stretched, enjoying the sweet sensation with every cell of my body. Outside, I could hear the joyful chirping of beautiful red-chested bullfinches who celebrated that bright January sun. Their chirping granted me hope that the naked forest outside my window would someday turn into a lush paradise for my parents and little sister. The corridor was filled with dog barks and the patter of tiny feet. They brought a dog home? The door to my bedroom flew open, greeting me with the warm breeze and the aroma of freshly made coffee. Olya stood in the doorway, shining with happiness, holding the cute Zolka? Holding the cute Zolka, who wiggled both her body and her tail. I don't know if I said her name right, but I tried.
Тоша, гляди! Папа разрешил ей остаться!
Look, Tosha, look! Papa said she can stay. Tears of joy formed in my little sister's eyes.
У меня теперь есть собака!
I have my own dog now. I couldn't help but jump up from my bed, hearing this wonderful news.
Да ведь это же Жулька!
That's Zolka.
Сам ты жулька! Ее зовут принцесса.
Zolka? No, her name is Princess.
Да, ваше высочество?
Right, Your Highness? The dog barked in agreement.
Тук-тук. Можно к вам?
Knock, knock. Can I come in? To my complete surprise, Dad stepped through the doorway, smiling and hugging Mom, which was outright bizarre.
Как тебе пополнение?
What do you think of our new family member?
Мне эта дуреха под колеса бросилась, еле вырулил.
This idiot threw herself under my car. I barely avoided her.
Машину поцарапал, думал, голыми руками удавлю.
I got my car scratched, thought I'd choke her with my own two
А
hands.
заглянул ей в глаза. Они такие, как бы сказать...
Then I looked her in the eye, and there I saw, how shall I put it?
Умные.
Intelligence.
Во! А сама дрожит вся.
Yeah, and the poor thing was shaken all over.
Ну, говорю, ладно, доедешь со мной до дома и сиденье не обгадишь, тогда оставайся.
And then I said, all right, if you manage to make it home without soiling my seats, I'll let you stay.
Принцессы не гадят.
Princesses can't soil anything. We laughed in unison, just like in the good old days when every little thing that could easily make us burst out laughing.
Чего замолчал? Давай, продолжай.
Well, why did you stop? Continue with your stories. Mom and Dad gave a cunning look and he turned away, red as a beet. They were acting like total kids.
А еще из хороших новостей. Ваш папа получил повышение.
There's more good news. Your dad got a promotion.
Грешно, конечно, радоваться, ведь старший бухгалтер пропал все-таки.
I shouldn't exactly be happy about it since the chief accountant went missing and all.
Но, как говорится, нет худа без добра.
But, you know, for us, it's a silver lining.
Это значит, тебя чаще не будет дома?
Does that mean you'll be away from home more?
Это значит двойную надбавку плюс премии.
That means double the bonuses.
Правильно, Карина.
That's right, Karina.
Так что готовьтесь. На следующей неделе нас всех ждет семейное путешествие.
Which means you all should prepare for a family trip next week. My heart started beating faster after those words.
Куда?
Where? Olya even loosened her grip on the stray.
Неужели в Макдональдс?
Oh, are we going to McDonald's? That's her idea of a vacation, of course. That definitely shows that she's a kid.
Скажешь тоже, Оль.
Come on, Olya.
Бери выше. Мы давно уже планировали эту поездку, да все не получалось.
Aim higher. We've been planning this trip for a long time, but something always messed it up.
Вы уж простите нас, ребятки.
We're sorry about that, kids. Mom wiped away a tear with her fist.
Да ладно тебе, Карин. Все в прошлом.
It's okay, Karina. Now it's all in the past.
В общем, собирайте чемоданы, летим в Диснейленд!
Anyway, gather your things. We're flying to Disneyland. My sister and I jumped up to the ceiling with joy. The dog also got excited from that passionate speech and joined us.
Ура!
Hooray!
Диснейленд! Диснейленд!
Our jubilant screams filled the house, rushed through the attic and the drain pipes, flew across the front yard, and sneaked into the shining white forest, taking the scary D word away with it. I swore that I'll remember this day forever, the day when my parents finally dropped their derisive masks, and underneath them were the faces of parents we always knew and loved. Lilia still hadn't returned to school after Katya went missing, so today I was able to get a good night's sleep and went to school when it was already bright outside. The trail led to a snow-white plain with blackened houses in the background. They pumped out gray smoke that carried the smell of birch and pine logs. The freezing cold of the night had finally let up. It fell into a slumber under the early sunlight. Ice sparkles appeared on the white caps atop the houses. I stopped, confident that nobody could spoil my good mood today. Not even my personal tormentor or his nasty crony Bayasha. Not even the shining knife that threatened to cut me up like a dead fish. Not even the mix of disdain and pity in Polina's rare glances. All of that was left in the past, forgotten, like a bad dream. All of that was gone, forever. A cow let out a long moo somewhere in the distance. I fell out of my fleeting daydream and walked forward, crunching with the snow blanket under my soles. Fluffy clouds floated above my head. I recognized the friendly shapes of animal kids in them. Suddenly, a snowball landed on the back of my head. Girlish laughter that reminded me of a small ringing bell in the spring breeze tickled my ears. I turned around, expecting to see her, my lovely guide into the dream world, my dear Alyssa. Yet, instead of a fox girl, Polina stood on the trodden path behind me, with her faithful violin case in hand.
Опять Петров ворон считаешь?
Got your head in the clouds again, huh, Petrov? She lunged at me with contagious laughter, locking her arms around my neck. I just stood there in awe, drowning in the sweet aroma of her perfume.
Что с тобой?
Did something happen? She flashed me an embarrassed smile. I saw her cornflower-colored eyes gleam.
Дедушка мой, он
My grandpa,
Он снова может ходить, представляешь?
he can walk again. Can you believe it?
В это даже сельский врач не верил, а он будто назло ему встал и пошел.
The local doctor had no faith in him, but it's like he stood up and started walking just to spite him.
О, это самый счастливый день в моей жизни, Антон!
Oh, this is the happiest day of my life, Anton. She dug her face deep into my chest, tightened her grip on my neck as if I was more than just a friend to her. I stared, looking around anxious.
Полина, нас могут увидеть.
Polina, somebody could see us.
Из-за Пятифанова беспокоишься?
Are you worried about the guys bullying him? I'm not sure what that says, and I really don't want to butcher it.
Брось ты это дело. Его и след простыл.
Then you're worried for nothing. He has not been here. He has not been seen for a while. I cautiously parted with Polina, trying to understand whether there was some sort of prank or the truth.
Ну ты чего, не веришь, что ли?
Wait, you don't believe me?
К нам вчера, буквально ночью, старший лейтенант Тихонов приезжал.
That officer, Lieutenant Tikhonov, came to our house just last night.
Так и так, Бяша потерялся, а вместе с ним и дружок его Ромка.
He said that Bayasha, along with his buddy Romka, went missing. Oh, happy days. A group of skiers glided past us straight into the forest. Polina leaned into my ear, sharing her whisper with me, her eyes still locked on the skiers.
Как я поняла, во всех этих исчезновениях Тихонов подозревает Пятифанова.
As far as I know, Tikhonov suspects that all the previous cases were Romka and Bayasha's fault.
Да ладно.
No way.
Я сама в шоке.
I was shocked myself.
По слухам, у Ромки того. Совсем шарики за ролики заехали.
There are rumors that Romka, well, went off the deep end.
Да я, в принципе, и не удивлена.
I mean, I'm not exactly surprised to hear that.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
What do you mean?
А ты не знал? Он из проблемной семьи.
Haven't you heard? He's from a very troubled family.
Даже думать не хочу, что творилось у них дома.
I don't even want to imagine what had been going on in their home. Romka always seemed excessively aggressive to me, always angry at everyone without a good reason. Now the darkness that he harbored within overflowed into the outside world and led multiple small innocent souls to their demise, as well as his own. It was hard to believe, but for the first time I laid eyes on Romka. I thought that things would end this way.
Пойдем скорее, а то опоздаем.
Let's move, or we're gonna be late. Polina grabbed my hand and started running along the village road, accompanied by joyful laughter. With every step, every laugh, and every joke, the warmth I thought I'd forgotten enveloped my heart more and more. The all-consuming feeling of falling in love came back to me, this time for good, it seemed. I tried letting go of Polina's hand near the classroom entrance, embarrassed that our classmates might taunt us. But it was as if Polina didn't care at all. She only gripped my palm even harder while opening the door. And she was right. Now that the cunning Katya, the heartless Ramka, and the sneering Bayasha were gone, our class looked as if it was sanitized from parasites. It became friendlier and kinder. I didn't get looks overflowing with hatred anymore. There was nobody to spit a ball of chewed paper at me through an empty shell of a ball pen. I sat at my lonely desk when Polina joined me. I wasn't surprised at all. She was so charming that I could call her my muse. A wave of inspiration hit me, and I couldn't help but pull out my sketchbook out of my bag. I licked the pencil lead, my eyes glued to my model. She smiled at me again.
Что ты задумал?
What's on your mind?
Спокойствие. Работает профессионал.
No worries, a professional at work here. I drafted the shapes of her mesmerizing figure.
Знаешь,
You know, I've watched you from here often. She glanced at her former desk and fixed a strand of hair behind her ear in embarrassment.
Правда?
Really? I outlined her cute cheeks with multiple wide lines. It was the first time I was able to grasp someone's proportions so precisely.
Полина,
Alina.
Что?
Yes, Anton? He froze in place, afraid of disrupting my work with one wrong move and dispelling the magic of the moment.
наклонись, пожалуйста, сюда.
Lean here, a bit more, please.
Вот так, да, хорошо.
Yes, like this, good. Choking from anxiousness, Polina loosened the knot on her handkerchief. On her handkerchief? What is that? Polina loosened the knot on her neckerchief. I always wanted to draw you. Our eyes met. Oh, Anton. My pencil slid across the paper furiously, adding the shading onto her chest.
Скажи, ты согласна стать героиней моего комикса?
Say, would you like to become the main heroine in my comic? Oh my god. Pleasant shivers ran across her body. She rolled her eyes back, enraptured.
Да! Да!
Yes, yes!
Как долго я ждала этих слов, милый!
I've been waiting for you to ask, darling. The lead couldn't endure all of the tension and cracked, bursting into a million tiny pieces. Mr. Hyde, you became a monster. What? I got an achievement for becoming a monster? I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at the drawing. What the fuck? I was looking at a terrible daub, and the place where Polina's face was just a second ago now rested some form of formless mess. It took me some time to realize that I was sitting alone in an empty classroom, with only the specks of dust flying in the moonlight as my company. It was dark outside. My classmates, Polina, the feeling of euphoria, all of them were gone. Somebody wrote down a nursery rhyme on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, but some of the words were wiped out, and I could only read bits and pieces. 1, 2, bunny, meat. I was no longer smirking like an idiot. I stood up, pinched myself on the wrist. A ringing silence engulfed me. There was a taste of vomit in my mouth, and my ears buzzed like from an endless scream full of despair and horror.
Эй, кто-нибудь!
Hey, is anybody there? Shadows swarmed in the corridor. I walked past boarded up classrooms, past the rotten spots on the walls and silvery cobwebs. Uh-oh. Spiders crawled under the ceiling. Lamps flickered anxiously. I stopped before the notice board, stunned. Everybody's missing. I don't see Polina, though. Hundreds of new photos were added to those of Simon and Katya. Black and white printouts were glued on top of each other. The horrific collage of childish faces stared at me with empty eye sockets. Unable to endure the torturing stares of those watchful gaping holes, I ran out of the school. I crossed the front yard and reached the road where the wind was whipping up powdery snow. No people, no cars, no birds. Low clouds got stuck on chimneys. Windows that looked like they were painted all over with ink. Photos of missing people enveloped lampposts and fences like paper skin. Mostly kids, but some adults too. It felt like all the people who once lived in this village now became black and white ghosts in the photos with the person missing label. I dragged my feet forward along the dead street. Some houses had their windows smashed. The wind made itself a home there, wandering the rooms. Every gust made the front door swing. Kids' coats hung from fences, their sleeves moved, stretched out toward me. An empty village, an empty husk. What happened here? An overthrown waste bin rumbled across the back alley. Something flashed inside the window frames of the charred village store. I ran away from the sooty facade, then heard a guttural roar coming from the well. I started walking faster, trying not to pay any mind to the darkness inside the front yards, inside the bloody doghouses, inside the crooked shacks. The moon appeared from under the clouds. Something flew over my head in its draining silence. As if a crop duster flew from one roof to another, a huge shadow loomed over me. I rushed to the right, hoping that I wasn't noticed. A small greenhouse in front of me was my shelter. I pushed the gate, crouched, and scampered toward the porch. I tugged at the doorknob. The front door was open. The hell? A wheelchair rolled out of the darkness, almost hitting me, tumbling down the stairs, clanging with its wheels, and stopped near an apple tree. I followed it with round eyes, then turned my gaze toward the house again. The corridor was obscured by the dark, empty frames on the walls, glass shards on the floor.
Есть тут кто?
Is there anybody there? I heard growling in reply. From around the corner at the end of the corridor, a furry paw appeared, and after it, a scary beast face with a pair of burning eyes. A huge, overweight beast crawled out on its belly, breathing like a snake. It could barely fit inside the corridor's mouth. It squeezed forward, clawing at the floorboards. Its maws clanged like a bear trap, inches away from my face. The beast got stuck. It banged its paws on the walls, spitting saliva in every direction. I turned around. I needed to get the hell out of this nightmare. A hunchback owl, bigger than an average human, landed near the front gate and stood in my way. Its beak kept on clicking. A snow pile bulged nearby, and something reminiscent of a giant shrew crawled to the outside. I fell to my knees, as if praying to these eldritch creatures. A figure draped in a dirty fox scalp crawled out of a dark hole, smiling with all its teeth. Its tail dragged after it, just a piece of vertebrae laced and torn sinews. The creature's bodies became extremely distorted, and I decided I was going insane. They seemed small to me one moment, as small as a child, only to stretch higher than any of the desolate houses the next. Man-eating creatures towered over me. Something kept on breathing in their stomach, as if looking for a way out. The longer they stared at me, the wider their twisted smiles, their dark masks became.
Как же славно мы пировали!
We had such a long feast. The mutilated fox taxidermy mount licked its lips. Its tongue looked like a black centipede, longer than my forearm. The nasty insect ran between the razor-sharp teeth and dropped into the bottomless pit that could swallow the whole world. Hoot hoot, sweet meat, juicy meat. We devour it, and we won't stop. There was nothing human about their speech. It was all just animalistic growls and bird-like whizzes. But I was able to understand every word, as if we were speaking the same language.
Как жаль, что ты не поспел за нами, зайчик.
It's a shame you couldn't catch up with us, Bunny.
Не смог укусить луну.
You couldn't bite the moon.
Вы обидали меня, предатели.
You stole my food, traitors.
Ты сам не захотел есть свою семью.
You refused to eat your family, remember? But... Hoot hoot! Pathetic meat! Worthless meat! You are absolutely useless, brother.
Тебя тошнит.
You make me sick. Grr, shame, shame! Indescribable horror gripped me when the laughing beasts held their clawed paws towards me. Then suddenly, the thing that pretended to be a fox started barking loudly.
Глупцы! Его черед нести угощение.
It's his time to bring the treats. Good for nothing.
Пусть исполнит предназначение.
Let him fulfill his mission.
К завтрашней ночи ждем места. А иначе...
We'll be waiting for some meat from you tomorrow night or else.
Иначе...
Or else.
Иначе...
Or else.
Иначе...
Or else.
Иначе мы съедим всю твою семью!
Or else we'll eat your entire family! Dang! The monsters formed a circle around me and started dancing. I screamed. Huge eyes, fangs, claws flashed in front of me, blurring me into a sting of colorful spots and smudges. 1, 2, time to play with you. 3, 4, 5, the owl will arrive. 6 on in, the wolf's gray fur will stand. 7, 8, stomp your hooves and wait. The fox face protruded from the fuzzy lights that the beastly carcasses turned into. For the fox fur and for the bear. Bunny, tasty meals prepare. A desperate cry, my cry, rumbled across the back streets of the desolate village. I will prepare. The circle broke up and I ran for my life. It felt like I was running into a snare trap. My head was splitting, ugly images danced inside it, colliding, falling over, getting up and dancing again. 1, 2. They flapped their wings, poked my face with their beaks and their salivating maws. 3, 4, 5. They howled and jumped around and my eardrums were ready to pop, either from their screams or from the internal pressure that fractured my skull from within. 6. My winter hat obscured my vision and it seemed like the whole sky tilted like a roof that's about to collapse. 7, 8. Snow crumbled from the sky like plaster. I ran through the empty streets, through the icy world, chased by packs of beasts. Yet I couldn't see anybody when I turned around. I shut my eyes and hopped away from the ritual dance that went on inside my flared-up mind. I squeezed my ears with my palms to suppress the noise. I just wanted to stop my head from cracking open. The sunrise found me deep inside the forest. Thank you for completing episode 4. We are deeply grateful for everyone who purchased the game in early access. All the profits will go toward further development of the game. Wait, was that the last chapter? I thought there were 5. Wait, was that it? I think that was it. So was I right? Were they bad people? Did they all get kidnapped? I'm so confused as to what the ending was. So all the kids out of school ended up being missing because it said he saw a whole bunch of missing posters. So they're gone. The only one that was still there was him. Was he captured too and now he has to join them? Is that what I'm getting at? I'm not sure, but wow. it got really good. Like, I was into it. It got really good at the end. It was going, I fell for it. I fell for it. It was very unpredictable. When it was showing Polina and she was flirting, I was thinking, oh, maybe, I bet him and Polina are gonna date now. Like, I fell for all of that. I wasn't expecting any of that. That was a really fantastic game. I'm really glad I played it. But let me know what you guys think the ending was, because I'm still confused. But I'm also very happy with how it was, because it was very unpredictable, and I love that. I love when things are unpredictable. That was awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I see you guys for my next video.